There are moments when something new begins, not because it's easy, but because it matters. In Alaska, we understand that kind of beginning. It takes grit to build something here. It takes vision to do it well.
Alaskan families can absolutely identify with classical education. In fact, I think it's intuitive in Alaskans. Alaskans have that frontier spirit. They already know what it is to be courageous, to have to face fears. Alaskans are a kind of people who care about virtue because they live in community. And Alaskans want their children to be well educated. They want their children to know something so that they can thrive. So classical education it's in the soul of Alaskans. And I find that they're receptive to it and understand it and see it as a good thing for their children and for their families and for the generations to come in Alaska.
We believe every student is created in the image of God, endowed with dignity, purpose, and the ability to do hard things. So we do not lower the bar, we raise it.
I teach because I love children, and I like to pour into their lives if I can help them be successful. I've worked with a lot of struggling kids and also some very gifted children, and it's just a real joy to be able to give them a solid education. Do I want my child in an atmosphere that's safe and loving? Do I want my child to get that foundation that'll just see them through the rest of their academic years and help them be lifelong learners? Do I want my children to be exposed to the true and the beautiful and the goodness? And that's what we have here. So, if that's what you want, this is the school for you. I think as a mother, grandmother, teacher, we only have these children a short time. You have one shot at these years, and then they're gone. And so you want to make the best possible decision for them, where they're going to get what they need to give them that positive experience that'll just carry them through the rest of their life. So, this is Thomas More Classical School is the school for that.
Rooted in the classical tradition, our scholars encounter the ideas that have shaped civilization, learning not just what to think, but how to think well. Our vision is to equip each graduate with the virtue and knowledge needed to pursue their unique calling and to live as free and flourishing Alaskans. And like any worthwhile beginning, this work is not done alone. It takes families, it takes teachers, it takes a community that believes this kind of education should exist and should be within reach.
So my kids first started out in public school, and that just wasn't the right fit, curriculum-wise and just the way that school was operating. And so we went on a search for the right fit, and we found a classical school. And I didn't quite understand what that was going to look like until we got into it. And my family fell in love with classical school and the way that the curriculum works with children's minds, with people's minds in general. The way that my kids have learned and what they've brought home has changed our family completely. So when we moved to Anchorage, that was probably my number one priority, was to find a classical school, and Thomas More was immediately very high on our list.
At Thomas More Classical School, we care about who the students become. It's an opportunity for students to grow in wisdom and virtue and to step into the lives they are meant to live. And this is just the beginning.